Peace, peace. What's up, everyone? I want to tell y'all a testimony of the very first time I realized that I could trust the Most High God with answering my prayer, my petition to Him, without me getting myself involved and trying to put my hands in the mix to get it done quicker. Because this was how I lived. You know, at this point in my life, we talking 2004. I was used to just doing things on my own. If I had a need, I would pray that the Most High would provide and bless me with that need, would fulfill that need. But then I would get off my knees and I would go and I would figure it out on my own. I would go make some phone calls and ask some people for something. I would go just try to figure it out on my own. And then after it happens, then I would say, thank you, Most High, for blessing and opening that door. Now, was that Him blessing and opening that door? Possibly. Maybe not every time, but possibly some of the times. But the issue was, I'm not saying He can't do anything with you trying to figure it out yourself and Him open the door. What I'm saying is, what's unhealthy about that is me, praying, putting it in His hands, and then me putting it back in my hands right when I'm finished the prayer. And then I'll go and figure it out, make it happen. And then after it happens, I'm like, thank you, God. But I really didn't wait on Him. I really didn't listen to see where He was leading me or directed me. I really just did what I always do and go ask somebody else for it. So I was putting mankind in the place of the Most High God, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, like the true and living God. The God of heaven and earth, the one who created all things. I put man in His place. Mankind. I trusted mankind with my well-being more than I trusted Him. But then said I was trusting Him. It's crazy, but that's how I lived. But anyway, so 2004, my wife now, who was my ex-fiance at this time, Zara had gave me the ring back, and rightfully so. After I proposed, she just began to realize, though I really loved her, because of trauma and just because of the way, my mind was, the way I reasoned, the way I thought, I was putting people in front of her. And you can't do that, not with your wife, I didn't know that. So I had some people that I had been loyal to, or that I felt was loyal to me, and I was loyal to them in Philly, and they weren't. They weren't the best people for me to be around. It wasn't the best influence, but I felt a commitment to them, and my wife was pretty much like, that's not gonna turn out well. Your commitment to them is coming before you and I. And I didn't know the importance of putting your spouse, your wife, your bride first, or if it's the other way around, a wife putting her husband first. But, for me, it was me putting my wife. I didn't know the importance of it. I didn't know how vital that was to keep the union pure and keep it tight. You can't be putting other people before your bride, your queen. For the queens, you can't put nobody before your king. Like, you just can't do it. Y'all got to be on one accord, And my wife knew that, but I didn't know it. So my wife, rightfully so, she gave the ring back. She asked me to make a choice. I didn't choose her. So, yeah. She gave the ring back because my wife is an honorable woman and she been that way. And we talking, she was 22 at the time. She knew her worth, and I love her for that. But at the time, I was upset and I was mad. And I talked to my man after the wedding was called off and after we weren't getting married anymore. I talked to my man who I had worked with him at Tower Records, and he was from California, but he was in Philly, and he had went back to California after he left the job. So we kept in contact. So one day I'm on the phone with my man. He like, yo man, you should just come to California, because I was like, man, I don't know what to do right now. I was about to get married. Now I'm not. He was like, man, you should come to Cali. I'm like, yeah. I had never thought about coming to California before. He was like, nah, yeah, you should come to Cali, man. There's a lot going on out here. You can do your music. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. It's LA. Like, come on now. And I'm like, you know what? I think that might be a good idea. So I just sat with it for a few days, and I thought about it. This is my first time ever leaving Philadelphia to go live somewhere else. So, it took me a few days. I had to really, and then I thought about it. I was like, yeah, you know what? That's a good idea. So, I start planning to go to California, and I'm making my plans. I'm like, okay, I bet I'm going to California. He said, yo, you can stay on my couch at my crib till you get on your feet, and you be good. I'm like, all right, bet. I'm gonna do that. I'm about to go to California. So now, I'm telling people this, and having conversations with, people, and they're telling me, what to look out for, just preparing me for my trip and everything. And then I run into my man Han Soul. Introduced me to, I forget how we met, but I know it was through Han Soul, my man Phil. So Phil Brown, he was he lived in Cali. He's from Philly, but he lived in California. He worked in Hollywood, but he was back in Philly at this particular time that I was about to go to Cali, and we met. We talked. Hip hop. He does like acting and all that. And I told him, like, I eventually want to get into that type of thing. And he was like, all right, bet. He was like, well, look, if you going to Cali, man, like, we should link up. He was like, I'll show you the city, you know what I'm saying, and all that, like, take you around and show you everything. I'm like, all right, bet. I'm like, yo, now I know somebody from Philly that's in Cali. Oh, this gonna be good. I'm about to get a deal. I'm planning all this stuff in my head, like, it's about to be amazing. And so he was like, yo, just hit me. Like, I'll probably get back. Like, you'll probably be there before I get back. But, you know what I mean? Like, we're linked. I'm like, all right, bet. So now, fast forward. I'm in California. I moved to California. I got $100 in my pocket, and I got like 2 bags, and I'm in Cali now. So I'm on my man's couch, and I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know why in my mind I thought, give me a couple weeks, I'll be on my feet. That ain't happening. But after the first week, I was broke. I ain't had nothing. I'm on my man's couch. I wake up, and I'm like, God, I don't have no money. I don't know how I'm going to eat. I don't know how I'm going to eat today. I don't know how I'm going to eat tomorrow, next week. I don't know. I was like, Father, I need you to help me. I couldn't ask my man. Like, he didn't really have it himself. He had enough for himself, but he didn't have nothing. He ain't really taking care of me. I'm a grown man at this point, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, I can't put that burden on my man. I gotta figure it out. So I prayed, I asked the Most High. And then I just go about, whatever I'm gonna do for that day. About 30 minutes later, I get the call from Phil. Phil is back in Cali. And so Phil is like, yo, Eshawn, what's up? I'm like, what's up, bro? He's like, yo, I'm back out here, man. Like, you trying to link? I'm gonna show you the city, all of that. Take you around LA, I'm like, yeah, that. All right, yeah, let's do that. He was like, you know what I mean? Then we probably find like a little spot out here, grab something to eat, you know what I mean? Chill. I'm like, yo, that's a good idea, man. I'm looking forward to it. That's what's up. But in terms of stopping and getting something to eat, little food spot, I ain't got it, bro. I ain't got it. You know what I mean? So I can't do that, but I definitely love to see the city. He was like, nah, he was like, I got you, bro. Don't worry about it, man. I got you. He was like, you good. Don't worry about it. I'm like, all right, bet. Well, yeah. He was like, what time? I'm like, yo, I don't know, like, an hour, whatever it was. He was like, all right, bet. Shoot me the address. I'm going to slide through. I'm like, all right, bet. Get off the phone with him. And I just looked at the Most High. I just looked up, like, wow. So that's how I'm going to eat today, huh? That's how I'm going to eat. Wow. My mind was blown. That's how I'm going to eat today. And then I link with Phil, go around, LA, went seen like all these different spots, Hollywood and Vine, all these different spots where they do the Oscars and all of that. Then we see the Walk of Fame with all the stars and all that stuff. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. This is Cali. I just seen this stuff on movies. Now I'm really here. Like, I'm like, wow, just taking it all in. Like, this is crazy. So then we hit the food spot. Now we sitting there breaking bread, eating, talking. He like, yo, hold on real quick. I'll be right back. I'm like, all right, bet. I'm finishing my food. He goes to the front of the spot we was at. Then he come back, and then he passed me like $100. Like, here. I'm like, what's this? He was like, man, don't worry about it, man. He was like, God told me to give it to you. I said, what? He said, God told me to get that to you. I said, for real? He was like, nah, for real. While I'm saying he was talking, man, God just felt like he told me to give it to you. I said, bro, you don't understand, man. Like, if you knew the prayer I just prayed this morning before you called, like, you don't understand. Like, I'm on borderline tears. I'm like, yo, thank you, Most High. Thank you. Like, I literally, for the first time in my life, I believe, I prayed a prayer, left it in the Most High's hands, and he showed out. He blessed me. He blessed me with a meal that day and blessed me with enough money so I could eat for the next week. Man, that was amazing. So that was the first time it clicked. I don't have to put my hands in it. I don't have to pray to the Most High and then jump out the window and try to figure it out on my own. You know, that's that pride that I was talking about in that other video, where I feel like I'm in control. I gotta be in control. I can't let the Most High just do him. He promised to never leave nor forsake. He promised to take care of me like he take care of the birds of the air, the lilies of the field. Like, I'm his. He's my father. Allow your father. Like, if this was my children, you know, like, and I've had this happen with my children. I'm like, what you think? I'm not gonna feed you? How you? It's coming. What you think? Have I ever let you go a day without eating? I know, Dad, but I'm hungry. Yo, chill. I'm gonna feed you. Me and your mother gonna feel like. And I feel like that's how the Most High be. I know that's how he been with me. You know, because I haven't gotten it right all the time. And this was one of the times where I acknowledged it, but I'm not going to say after this happened, I just continued to leave things in the Most High's hand, or I didn't. There's many times I felt the pressure. It was on me. It was heavy, and I just like, yo, I got to make something happen. And, you know, again, I'm not saying that we I'm just saying we should be led, you know, speaking for myself. I should be led by the Most High in my choices. Not saying it's a wrong thing to pray and then go put your feet to the ground and make something happen. If that's how the Most High is leading me in particular, then yeah, that's what I must do. But if he's leading me to just rest in him and chill, and as hard as that may be, that's what I need to do, so that he can show me his grace, show me his mercy, show me his love, show me his compassion and his dedication to me when things look like they can't go my way, when things look like it's over and it's not gonna work out, to still sit and rest in him, recognizing he's my strong tower, he's my safe place, and he will provide. He'll never leave me nor forsake me, man. That is the revelation that I'm left with all of these years later, where I'm now, for the first time in my life, embracing that full on, not on and off. You know, I have some times when I do it, sometimes when I don't, depending on the amount of pressure. Like, nah, I'm in a place now where I'm not flip-flopping. I'm not being wishy-washy with the Most High. I'm just trusting him even when it's the darkest. You know what I'm saying? Even when it's the darkest and I don't see a way out, I'm trusting him. I need a word from him. And when I move, I need to have peace with that movement, knowing that this would please him. And also praying that, Most High, if this is not your will, I feel like I should do this, but if it's not your will, show me, and I'll abort the plan immediately. So yeah, that's why I'm at with it. All praise to the Most High God, the true and living God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Hallelujah. All praise be unto him now and forevermore. His beautiful Son and his loving, kind, and wise Holy Spirit that dwells within his children. Peace.